Some of you may have noticed in the previous episode that I've got a big fancy new headset on, which A, improves the audio quality, but B, makes it look like I kind of belong on a pit wall. Hello, welcome to Season 2, Episode 13 of Race to the Top. I'm Ian, and in today's episode we've got just 10 days for the MUNICH GP, which is actually one of the benefits for you blokes watching now I'm up in F1, because you don't have to listen to me prattle on for 30 days anymore as we go through menu screens. We've only got 10 days to get through everything, so hopefully these sort of qualifying episodes will be fractionally quicker whilst we go through them. In terms of, I better do this stupid interview. One question. That was your first full race weekend in charge of a Formula One championship team. How do you feel? I feel great. It was a wonderful weekend. What a complete waste of an interview. Yeah, one of the things we do have to look at is the pit crew, because as you may well remember, it was the front left, wasn't it? Yes. Who's this lady's name? Leonor Oncha? Is that how you say her name? She made a mistake, which thankfully didn't cost us. She did it on the Kvyat's car, and I really thought Kvyat was going to lose out on the points with that mistake. But fortunately, Hulkenberg pitted right at the end, which bumped him up into ninth place in the end. So it didn't cost us, but either way, she needs to be rested anyway. But I mean, if it had cost us points, she wouldn't have been rested. She would have been sacked. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap Di Balsamo up there, and then Onka doesn't sound right, does it? But what I'll do is I'll put who should I bring in? I might switch them around, Cipollini, and then I'll put Oncha, who is in charge of fixing, and she can be replaced by Consolaro. I think that's how you'd say his name. And what I will do is I'll bring in Candido for the front jack as well. Give Dessou, I can't pronounce these names, I'm shocked at it. Give him a bit of a break. So everyone should be good for the next race in Munich. What I will do as well, once we finish the fixing, is we'll have a quick look at what we need to do for the parts, for improving the parts. Because Munich's got gearbox, brakes, and suspension are all really, really crucial. So it's really tricky to know what we should be focusing on. We'll take it off the rear wing, because we don't need to worry about rear wing now. I will improve that gearbox. And brakes, I think I might do that one. And we will still worry about reliability a little bit. Anything that's sort of below 80 we should be focusing on. And I will improve that one, just for the sake of it. So what we'll do is we'll go sort of 15.5, because reliability is pretty good on the whole. I'm not too concerned about reliability, but we do need to worry about our performance, because obviously with Munich, with three things that are crucial, with gearbox, brakes, and suspension all crucial, this could be a really, really good race for us, because we've got good brakes and we've got a set of good brakes and a set of average brakes. Other than that, everything's original, so we really need to improve what we can as much as we can for the race. But there's not really much else to do, because we don't want to be designing two new parts. If we can help it, we want to try and save as much money. I mean, we're pretty much safe in the standings if you have a look. I mean, we've got 9 points. There's no guarantee of safety, of course, but Rapax look absolutely woeful. I just can't see them picking up points. I expect Haas to pick up points by the end of the season, but I don't think Rapax will. So even if they pick up 1 or 2 points, I can't see them closing that gap between us. So I think we're pretty much safe. So if we can save as much money as possible between now and the end of the season. I mean, remember in the previous race we picked up £2 million, and we've still got 8 races to go. That's another £16 million. So we could be up around 25 million by the end of this race, by the end of this season, which is really, really promising, because it'll help us design a good car for the following year. But we do have to be mindful that we can't just sit back too much, because we may have to sort of design a part, just to ward off any potential threat right near the end of the season. So even if we could get it around sort of 20 million, that'll be pretty good. Yeah, we're still going well for 8th. We've got a dilemma from Jean Todd. We rarely speak one-to-one, but from the little time we've spent together, I can already tell that you're a decent, well-intentioned manager. The press are spreading some vicious, nonsensical rumours that the GMA are running something called an offshore slush fund. Obviously, it's pure nonsense, but I would greatly appreciate some public support against these claims. Having me as a friend in the boardroom could do wonders for your career. Of course, bloody gutter press. So we lose a bit of marketability, we get extra voting power, and it doesn't sound too preposterous. I'm going to go with that. I don't really need the extra voting power. As you may remember, I've already got additional voting power anyway. The standard merit payment sounds pretty good, and refueling, whatever, doesn't bother me. So Jean Todt, I'm not too bothered. So we are a week away from Munich, so we're there again, which will be the third time in this career that we've now been at Munich. It's going to be a 59 lap race with a lap record of a 1:33.4. There is a 40% chance of rain again, which, hey, the last few times it's been 40% chance of rain, nothing's happened, so you can guarantee it'll probably piss down on this race. The tyre compounds chosen are the soft, mediums, and the hards, and Ferrari are expected to do very, very well. That doesn't affect us too much, so we'll keep going. One of the good things about going to Munich yet again is it does mean that we can... I know the track pretty well, so I should have a fair idea of how to set the car up, which will help us when it comes to practice, because it does mean that we can get that car as good as possible, and then we can just run lap after lap after lap, which is how we did really, really well in Vancouver. I managed to nail the setup, which allowed us to get a lot of good feedback throughout the session. What I was going to check for you guys, once I can find out where we are, is the Formula 2 Championship, to see how our guys got on in Munich, because they were in Munich. Where are we? Where did they finish? So Naj came in 7th, and Leclerc got on the podium, so he came in 3rd place. So good on them. And if we have a quick look at the standings, then I'm guessing they're still in 3rd place. Yeah, they are, but they're only 19 points behind Racing Engineering. They've built up a bit of a lead over MP Motorsport, so they look very, very good. They're going to be definitely staying in Formula 2 this year. Campos didn't pick up any points in that previous race, so that really, really helps them in their survival for Formula 2, and we may see them in Formula 1 one day, and it'll all be because of me. We are about to hit into the Munich GP race weekend then, so this is going to be a fantastically quick episode, which is great for you guys. Yeah, all the gossip, no one cares about that. So we are racing in Track A in Munich, which looks like it's the same track as what we did in Formula 3, was it? No, Formula 3 we had that little wiggly bit, so we've now got the long back straight to contend with. So that's the only difference there. Let's have a quick look at the part fitting, just to make sure everything's as good as it can be, because Gasly's got the better brakes, but you see, as you can see, they haven't been improved as much. So actually, although he's got the better braking part, it's not, the performance isn't as good as the previous one, which Danny Kvyat has. Otherwise, engine is Kvyat. Kvyat's got the better front wing, got the better gearbox, got the better rear wing, and got the better suspension as well. So we can expect to see Kvyat sort of performing very, very well again, which is good. If we have a quick look at reliability, and you can see Kvyat has got the better reliability across the board with the exception of the rear wing. His rear wing's not quite as reliable as you can see there. It's at 100% on Pierre Gasly's car. So that's really, really good. So we do have to worry a little bit, I think, about reliability. It didn't affect us too much, did it, in the previous race? But with brakes being crucial, and as you can see, Gasly's is quite low. What is Gasly's? 85%. That's something that we may have to keep an eye on. Even their engine's quite low. It's only at 82 and 83% respectively. So that's something that we may have to keep an eye on throughout the season. We really want to improve that. But let's get into qualifying, and hopefully we can do a bit better than what we did in Vancouver. Welcome to a sunny Munich for qualifying here today on Saturday in Germany. We didn't do too badly in practice. We had Kvyat finishing in 14th, Gasly in 17th. We were just ahead of the Haas of Webber. Grosjean was quite a long way down, but most importantly, Team Rapax, whatever they're called, they were miles away. De Vries especially was about half a second off our slowest time, which was Gasly, and he went around on the medium tyres. Kvyat did go around on the soft tyres and was about 4/10 quicker, so that's quite important to know. But as you can see, we didn't manage to get any soft tyre performance increase. But we're hoping for a one-stopper here. It's a 59-lap race, and we're hoping to do hards and then go on to the mediums. That's what we're sort of hoping, or vice versa, of course. That's what we're kind of hoping for, but I'm not really too optimistic about that, because as you remember in the previous race, Kvyat sort of burned through the tyres a lot quicker. Now, admittedly, Gasly did have this where the soft tyres wear more slowly, but we're not going to really be able to use the soft tyres in this race, so we could be doing a two-stopper anyway, which means we may be sort of going medium or something like that, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. It all hinges on where we finish in today's qualifying session. So this is what we're doing. We've got the qualifying trim on Kvyat's car. Gasly does have the sweeter spots trait as well. As you can see, though, we managed to really nail Kvyat's setup. Pierre Gasly's a little bit unhappy about the handling, but that's about all we can do. I'm not too optimistic in terms of this session. I'm sort of thinking we're going to struggle a little bit, and it looks like we're going to have to choose another trait, which is annoying. But like I say, I'm not too optimistic about this. We will be able to go out and set 2 laps, which is why we're going to go out onto the soft tyres really, really early, set a sort of banker lap, and we will send Gasly out more or less straight behind him. He hasn't used the softs at all. He's going to be following Kvyat, but Kvyat should be able to pull away because he has got the better car, so he should be able to pull away. So Gasly will struggle a little bit to keep up with him. So Kvyat shouldn't hold Gasly up. Hamilton was quickest, unsurprisingly, and then I think it was Vettel, Bottas, Raikkonen. So Mercedes and Ferrari have been splitting their strategies. Renault were actually a long way ahead of us. Both Sainz and Hülkenberg were sort of 10th or 11th, I think. So we were 14th. We had the Williams well ahead of us. So I think catching up to Renault in the championship is going to be quite difficult following this race weekend, because they could be picking up quite a few points where we'll be thankful just to finish in the top 10. Are we leading the guys out? I think we are. So both our cars are leading the guys out. Then you've got Hamilton behind. Then it's Ricciardo and then Perez. So Kvyat or Gasly will have provisional pole for but a fleeting moment. As Kvyat crosses the line, he managed to perfect his tyre temperatures, but didn't do that great on his brakes. And I think Gasly was exactly the same. So this will be interesting in terms of the race, because I'm hoping that we can put on a good showing. If we can pick up a point or 2 again in this race, then that puts us in a great position for the rest of the season, because I don't think we're going to get anything out of this race. We're going to have to rely on a safety car or something like that to really, really help us, because I think our tyre wear is actually pretty shit. So I think with bad tyre wear, it's going to mean managing tyres and trying to, go to a one-stopper could be very, very difficult, as we're actually not doing too badly here. Gasly's a little bit quicker than Kvyat at the moment. He's only 4 tenths down on Kvyat, Kvyat is 6 tenths down. Kvyat crosses the line, and he is already beaten the provisional pole. Gasly's got a 1:23.2. Kvyat was 2 tenths behind that. As there you go, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Perez will jump ahead as well. So we're starting to fall down the leaderboard a little bit. But we did come out, we are ahead of Sainz at the moment. There's De Vries there. Look at how slow he is compared to us. That's why I'm not too concerned about Rapax at all. But Sainz behind us is very, very good. Hülkenberg will be coming across soon. There we go. He has crossed the line. He's up into 4th place. So that's really where Renault should be. So that was just a bad lap from Sainz. So he may have had a bit of traffic there. You can see him up there. He's behind De Vries and Webber. So he may have been held up a little bit by De Vries at the end of the lap, which may have cost him. But at the moment, Gasly's time's not too bad. We're ahead of Stroll and Ocon, which is good. Button's behind us. Now, Alonso will be crossing the line. It'll be interesting to see where Alonso comes when he crosses. There he goes across the line now. And where did Alonso come out? He came out in 4th place. What a great lap from him. Now, it takes about 1:40 to get around. So with 5 minutes to go, we've got a little bit of time to chill before we have to worry about going out again. There's no rain expected. And it's getting quite sunny towards the end of the session there. So as you can see, the tyre, the track grip will be gripping up quite substantially towards the end of this session. So it does mean that if we can go out right at the death, we're going to have maximum track grip, which could mean we may just bump up a little bit. But you can expect everyone to really improve their times because of this. The track gripping up as much as it is, we can really expect to see all our times improving. But look, 12th and 15th not bad, considering we were 14th and 17th before. Gasly was a bit of an unknown, because Gasly didn't go out on the soft tyres. So he set his fastest time, which is why he was 17th, down on the medium compound tyre, whereas Kvyat was going around on the softs, and he was only in 14th place. So that's pretty standard for Kvyat. That's pretty much where he was in practice. But Gasly, I've been very impressed with him at the moment in 12th place. He wasn't really impressing me too much in the previous race, but having that, being able to stay out on the soft tyres longer really, really helped him. And he's just gone onto the team radio then and said, let me out, let me do another lap. What I might do is I might even send Gasly out first over Kvyat, just because he set a much better lap. Let's mix things up a little bit that way. As you can see, everyone's starting to head out now. You've got quite a few people on out laps. So let's quickly cut over. Let's watch someone else, because Vettel is gunning for pole position. Hamilton's only just come out now. There he is there going around that sort of almost like a hairpin, really. what's that? Turn 3 and 4. So he will be right behind Vettel there. We've got 2 minutes to go. So I think we sort of send Gasly out at around the 2-minute mark. Let's do that now. Let's send Gasly out, put him onto the soft tyres, and send him out. And we might just wait a second or two, because everyone's out now except for us. So we're going to be right at the death. We're going to be the last two crossing the line. So whilst they're going around, let's watch Vettel, because we may even be holding Vettel up a little bit. As De Vries is crossing the line. So De Vries is on his in-lap now, so he's just set a lap. As Vettel starts his flying lap. So he's got Kvyat ahead of him, so Kvyat might even hold Vettel up a touch here, which would be quite interesting to see. But Button is improving on his time. So as you can see, I told you they will be improving with the track gripping up. It's not gripping up quite as much as it originally was. Look, it's starting to fall away a little bit. Since that sun came out on the track, it's starting to fall away a little bit. Vettel's just gone purple in that first sector, but with the track, it's still gripping up a little bit. So it's really down to the drivers now, because it's pretty much, it's not improved that much from when everyone went out on their first lap. But as you can see, everyone's pretty much going green. There's a few purples as Hamilton's just set now the fastest first sector. Vettel's being held up a little bit. Kvyat has nailed his tyre temperatures. I didn't see Gasly, so you'll have to, hopefully you guys saw it, because I didn't, and we'll be able to watch him as Vettel crosses the line but does not improve on his time, or at least does not get provisional pole, as everyone's on their flying lap now. Qualifying has now finished. Hamilton will most likely set pole. Gasly is 4/10 down. He hasn't improved on his first sector. Kvyat's improved on his first sector though, so Gasly may be overtaken by Kvyat. Gasly's dropped down to 14th. Kvyat's currently in 16th place, so Gasly needs to pull something out as he's a second down already. This is a very, very bad lap from Gasly. Kvyat, though, has gone green in that second sector, so let's cut to him, because he's the one that's going to improve. Keep an eye on Gasly's time down in the bottom right. He's a second down already. He's not going to be improving on his time. As he crosses the line, he doesn't improve. He's very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Kvyat, though, he may be able to move up the field. He crosses the line. He improves his time, but does not move up on the standings. So Ricciardo gets pole over Hamilton, and we start 14th and 16th. That's a concern for Kvyat, because remember, Kvyat has that first lap where, you know, his attributes just take a nosedive in that first lap. So if he doesn't improve coming out by the end of that first lap, we could have a really, really tough race. That's a really, really bad performance. We've got both Hasses there, Mark Webber and Romain Grosjean ahead of us. Nico Hulkenberg slipped down. We stayed ahead of Carlos Sainz though, but we could expect to see him moving up. They've got much better tyre wear, so you can expect to see him moving ahead of us. Then you've got Button, and then you've got the two Rapaks right below him of De Vries and Soto Jr. So really, at the end of the day, as long as we finish ahead of Team Rapaks, that's all that matters. But I would like to have been a little bit higher up, because look, Haas is starting in the top 10. They've got an opportunity for points, and they need it. They need the points, because they're currently relegation threatened. So, hey, tune in tomorrow for that one. Yes, thanks for watching that, guys. Thumbs up. You know the drill. I'll see you tomorrow for Munich. 59 laps. We're starting right at the back of the grid, more or less. 40% chance of rain. Something could happen. Fingers crossed.